Hello, Gary Stearman. It's a great pleasure for me to be back talking to you, the Prophecy Watchers audience, for the first time since our Israel trip. I have a chance to comment on a few things that have been going on. First, about the trip itself. I think the lasting impression that I have from that trip is this. I have never seen a people so dedicated to the preservation of their culture and their land as the Jews of today's Israel. Everywhere you go in modern Jerusalem, in fact, all of Israel, you see tour buses. You can stand in and around the old city, the Temple Mount, and at any given time of the day, you can hear 100 languages being spoken from all over the world. People are flocking to this city. Why? Because they sense that there's something preeminently focused and energetic about this particular place on earth. They want to go and be part of it. Well, we were there from the 15th to the 25th, and I wanted to share a little bit of what we experienced there. First of all, I am holding the Jerusalem Post. This one is dated March 20th, 2015. I bought it in Jerusalem, and on the front page, the headline is, U.S. may withdraw support for Israel at Security Council. Wow. Front page. That was the day of Benjamin Netanyahu's re-election, and I was struck by the absolute contrast between the enthusiasm for today's Israel that I saw on the streets and the dearth of popularity from abroad. It seems like everybody wants to sound the death knell on Israel. And we have here the subhead, Prime Minister affirms backing of two states. White House questions Netanyahu's commitment to the peace process. Well, if you go to the section 2 of the same newspaper, and of course this is the March 20th edition of the Jerusalem Post, you see a victory pose by Benjamin Netanyahu standing in front of a Likud lectern. And the headline, with eyes wide open. Let me read the subhead. The country knows well that another Netanyahu government means tension with Obama and the world. That it nevertheless opted for this choice says much about how Israelis, not well-wishers from abroad, grasp their own reality. Notice the subtle irony in that subhead. Israelis, not well-wishers from abroad. In other words, this was viewed as, if you will, Israel's business. And Israel's business is to stay alive, to stay solvent, and to stay well protected in the midst of a hostile territory. And so there, in two, if you will, brief glimpses of the Jerusalem Post dated March 20th, 2015, you have the plight of Israel today. Netanyahu wins the election, but the real headline on the front page, U.S. may withdraw support for Israel. Never thought I would see a headline like this. Why? Because American Christianity has traditionally supported Israel for at least the last 50, 60 years and beyond. In fact, I can remember well after World War II and after the Jews were freed to return to their homeland, after the UN mandate of 1947, statehood 1948, I can remember the enthusiasm of Americans, which has since been dulled. And in fact, the popular opinion now is that Israel is kind of on its own, and we don't have any obligation to support them anymore. And yet, while I was in Israel, I could not escape the feeling, everywhere I went, that there is a quiet confidence among Israelis. And I talked to a lot of Israelis, as well as the people on tour with us, and there is a universal, if you will, confidence in the survival of modern Israel. There is the feeling that the Lord himself has his hand on this place. And I want to just take a moment to read Psalm 122. And let's think about this one. You know, there are a lot of people who would like to divide Jerusalem, cut it in pieces, serve it up like a pie. But Psalm 122 says, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Wow, I thought of those words when we walked around the Temple Mount. Our feet shall stand within thy gates, O Jerusalem. Jerusalem is built as a city that is compact together. Now that's verse 3 of Psalm 122. What does it say? It says Jerusalem is built as a city that is compact together. That is, it is one entity. It is pulled together by a single boundary. It's not to be cut up in little pieces like a pie. And this is from the Word of God, by the way. Verse 4 says, whither the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord under the testimony of Israel to give thanks to the name of the Lord. This is the place that Israel goes to give thanks to the Lord. And I have to tell you that while we were there, many of us gave thanks to the Lord for the fact that Israel is alive and well today in our lifetimes. Verse 5 says, for there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. House of David. By the way, it is the Davidic throne that will be occupied by Christ when he returns to planet Earth. Verse 6 says, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. And how well we know this verse. Sha'alu shalom Yerushalayim. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. They shall prosper that love thee. Peace be within thy walls, prosperity within thy palaces. For my brethren and companions' sakes, I will now say, peace be within thee. Peace, shalom. You hear it everywhere in Israel. It's the watchword of national Israel. And finally, verse 9, because of the house of the Lord, our God, I will seek thy good. Wow. Read Psalm 122 quietly, carefully sometime, and just see what it suggests to you about the standing of modern Israel, the standing of Jerusalem. I was impressed by Israel's commitment to keep Jerusalem as one Jerusalem, and as a Jerusalem that is religious in nature and looking for the return of Messiah. I'll have much more to say about that later. Just want to say hi to the many people who went with us on the tour, got to make some wonderful friends. Each and every one of those wonderful friends that went with us on the tour was as impressed as I am that Israel is here to stay, that there is a spirit there that you can't find anywhere else on earth. It was an amazing time. It'll take me a while to sort out all my feelings after a lot of hiking, going uphill and down. I've got several things that I want to report on, several places we visited that absolutely were life-changing to me, literally. And we'll be talking about all of those. Again, hi to our friends, those on tour with us who have gone back to their separate homes. Had a great time with all of you. Lord bless you all. And to those of you watching this on prophecywatchers.com, I just want to say, peace be with you. May the Lord be with you and your comings in and goings out. And may the Lord bless you and your household. Stay tuned right here because there is so much more I want to say. For now, I'm recovering from a virus that I caught on the way back. I'm recovering my strength from a lot of walking in Israel, but I'm recharged. I feel very enthusiastic. I feel doubly inspired to check Bible prophecy from day to day and see things happening that are absolutely amazing. And having said that, I wish you all a great day in the Lord, and I'll be talking to you again soon. I'm Gary Stearman for Prophecy Watchers. Hey, keep watching, everybody. We are. Thanks for joining us on Prophecy Watchers. You can find us on the web at prophecywatchers.com, where you can sign up for our free email newsletter, or follow us at facebook.com/prophecywatchers. In the meantime, keep watching, everybody, and we'll see you soon.